Hello everyone and welcome to Civic Platform. This is your host Zuher Almusre. The Minister of Labor and Immigration, John Reyes, recently announced that Manitoba will benefit from a significant increase in allocation for the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, MPNP, in 2023, as part of Immigration, Refugees and Citizen Canada multi-year allocation plan. Today, we are pleased to host the Minister John Reyes at Multicultural's Civic Platform to discuss this news. Honorable Minister, welcome to Civic Platform.
Thank you, Zuher. Thank you for coming here to the Manitoba Legislative Building. I'm sure that you've seen this building before, and I'm biased. I'm from Manitoba, and it's a very beautiful building. So I hope you're enjoying your visit here.
Thank you for accepting us in your office. And could you please start with provide some more information on the announcement and its importance to our province and Winnipeg?
Yeah, certainly, Zuher. First of all, again, thank you for being here and for me the opportunity to share the good news for Manitoba with regards to immigration, our Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program. So we've been allocated a number of allocation spots for this economic stream for skilled labor here for Manitoba. A PC government created this back in 1998. What I can tell you is that the last 2 years, we've had a record number of applications processed, over 6,000, 6,200, over 6,200 in 2021. The last year, in 2022, we had over 6,300. One of the challenges, though, is when we want to try to attract skilled labor to address this labor shortage, we need more allocations to do that from the federal government because they decide on how many spots we get in terms of our provincial nominee program. And what I can tell you is many provinces have emulated, copied our program in Manitoba because, like I said, it was created here, first province in Canada in 1998. So I'm very happy that the federal minister, Sean Fraser, who I've worked with since I've been in this role, has allotted 9,500 more allocations to the province of Manitoba with regards to our provincial nominee program. So it'll definitely benefit people that want to come to Manitoba, live in Manitoba, work in Manitoba, and stay in Manitoba. 9,500 allocations, so it's 50% more allocations as compared to last year.
Great. So when we were working on this episode, our audience addressed some significant questions related to immigration and employment. Let me read those questions for you.
Sure.
So based on Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program requirements, the candidate should have a proof of post-secondary education and employment experience and expertise. The most common concern from newcomers is the difficulty in finding employment according to their qualifications and education level, which was required by province. Usually newcomers start with survival jobs, and some newcomers, when trying to get employment or education advice, can hear from the provincial government representative that with this expertise they may be better try another province of immigration. What is your opinion on this issue and how the province will address it?
Well, my opinion on that is we've addressed it first and foremost through many ways, Zuher. Last year, the Premier created an Immigration Advisory Council. So comprised of 20 members from the public in Manitoba from a wide variety of professional backgrounds, from different ethnic, cultural communities, and different regions of the province. So during those meetings and public consultations throughout the province, we acquired a lot of feedback on ways to improve and enhance the provincial nominee program. I know that, as you said, many immigrants, when they come to Manitoba, the first job they have is a survival job. One of the challenges is recognizing their foreign credentials. So foreign credential recognition is something that we are working on, working with as well with the federal government to ensure that there's a seamless and successful pathway for those internationally educated professionals to come to the province of Manitoba. So that is being addressed. What I can tell you is that there is legislation that I have brought up to improve the timeliness of regulatory bodies. In this case, for example, if you're a pharmacist or a nurse, we want to ensure that those regulatory bodies reply back to those applicants when they come to the province of Manitoba in a timely manner, because the last thing you want is a newcomer to come to the province and it's challenging already as it is coming to a new country, a new province. We want to just make sure that they get the timely information so that we can get them gainfully employed to what they took in terms of education, in terms of their profession back where the country that they came from. It has been a challenge, but the government, our government, has been addressing that issue because I've had, like I said, many consultations throughout the province of Manitoba, and not only as a minister. Before I became minister, I would hear that locally in my constituency of Waverley, where we have many newcomers, and I think you've seen that the events that we've gone to. So I'm very passionate about it. My dad was an immigrant. He came here in 1968, and and I can tell you, as immigrants, we have to work that much harder because of the environment. You have to familiarize yourself with the environment. So it's up to us as a government, it's up to me as a minister to ensure we have that information readily available for these people coming to Manitoba.
We are the ethnic media platform, and sometimes we hear from our audience why the province increases the number of immigrants when newcomers struggle with employment and housing. Some see it as unfair to them, especially with the recent influx of a large number of Ukrainians and Afghanis. How would you respond to this question?
Yeah, well, we have to, from a humanitarian standpoint, when it came to the Ukrainians and to the Afghans, what I can tell you is that we have to work together with the federal government and the provincial government to welcome these newcomers, and there are certain situations beyond our control, and so there are pathways that we had to work quickly with the federal government with regards to the Ukrainians, and it's a very unfortunate situation that's happening there. But we have the most Ukrainians per capita in the province of Manitoba. As a child growing up, I knew that I had many Ukrainian friends, so it's just a natural thing for us to do. We are friendly Manitoba. We want to welcome everyone here. We have invested $7.1 billion in newcomer settlement support for organizations to ensure that when people do come to Manitoba, regardless where they're from, have those support systems in place. I can tell you also that there have been many internationally educated professionals that have actually benefited from this program. When we had made this announcement on the increased funding for newcomer settlement support, that there was a nurse and there was a lawyer. They were able to get funding from these organizations, which we funded, and they became a professional after doing all that training and support. There are challenges, and we always are welcoming to the feedback getting from the public because there are certain pathways, certain immigration streams that are federal and some that are provincial. But we have to ensure that we do have the social support systems in place in terms of housing, and that's why, as the Minister for Immigration, I ensure that I communicate that with the other ministers who are responsible for those portfolios.
Great. Which challenges the MPNP faced in the past, and those challenges can be overcome today?
Yeah. Well, what I can tell you is in the past, prior to taking over government, the MPNP application actually took a lot longer. Since we took over government in 2016, we've streamlined that process. The application is 6 months or less. One of the challenges right now, Zuher, is that we have many expressions of interest, and you only have so many allocations. So that's why I'm very happy that the federal government gave us 9,500 allocations this year for 2023. So what that means, it increases the chances of those people who are coming to our province to be drawn for the Provincial Nominee Program.
Are there any numbers or statistics related to immigration and the expected economic growth available today?
Yeah, well, what I can tell you with regards to our numbers is that with respect to the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, which welcomes skilled labor to our province, just over 6,200 came in 2021, as I said before. 2022, it was over 6,300, and those are record numbers, and those were during the pandemic. And this year, we're hoping to break that record. We have 9,500 allocations, so we definitely want to welcome more people to Manitoba because we do have a labor shortage. There's a labor shortage across the country. So one way to remedy that is through immigration.
Okay. And how does the MPNP will help immigrants business owners?
Yeah, so the MPNP, well, there's two ways. We do have a business investor stream if people want to actually open a business through the Provincial Nominee Program, and many have been successful using that program. And as well, employers who want to attract employees through this program, there is a pathway for that as well. What I can tell you is there's pilot projects happening in certain regions of the province. We just did one in Winkler Stanley, southern Manitoba. It's a pilot project that actually has allocations dedicated to that region. When I travel the province for these public consultations, what I found out is that different regions have different needs when it comes to employment. So this is a pilot project in Winkler Stanley, but we want to make sure that they become actual projects, not a program, not an actual project, so that they're permanent, because there's a need for labor not only in Winnipeg but all over Manitoba.
So there is one situation I want to highlight it with you in this interview. Any newcomer, when they arrive to Manitoba or any province in Canada, they struggle for the first and second year for many challenges. They don't have like a stable income. They struggle with language, and also they struggle with like a mental health, because there is a lot of missing to their home countries. But after we became a Canadian citizen, after like 5 years, we laugh about these 2 years, because we found the government of Canada, they have a right to ask for these requirements for a good English and also Canadian experience. I do have my friend, he's become he want to become a licensed doctor, and he sit in the table with the Canadian doctors, and he said, like, I have more experience than you guys, and you know that, why you don't give me that chance? And then one Canadian doctor stand and said, we don't you to put you in risk. Here there is life involved. You have to know how we speak with our patient. You need to know how the Canadian doctor works, because you will be working with these people every day, and if you miss anything or you don't understand small things, here the life is involved. So as a minister for immigration, how we can teach that people, it's necessarily to understand this new country, their system, and then after your patient, you will start achieve. There is many of opportunity open for you. So this is like if I speak with anyone who comes new, he will not take it from me, and he will not trust me, right? He thought like I am like laughing on him or making jokes, but this is the reality, and we have to be realistic, right? What is your opinion about this reality?
Well, Zuher, one thing I can tell you, because sometimes I do get emotional about this, because I hate to see immigrants struggle, because my parents were immigrants as well. But what I can tell you is, prior to being in politics, is that I could never understand if Canada needs more doctors, nurses, engineers, and all these professionals, why is there a barrier for them to practice? Now that I'm in government, I've understood the process, and I think communicating with regulatory bodies, and if we're talking about doctors, the College of Physicians, I mean, as the Minister for Immigration, I have to communicate with the Minister of Health, work together as a government to ensure that we have these smooth pathways for them to practice. Obviously, there are guidelines and standards that from other countries that don't align with Canadian standards, right? And I think we have to have more deeper conversations to ensure that there is alignment. And the reason why is because, number one, Canada needs doctors, Canada needs nurses, Canada needs a bunch of occupations, and the province of Manitoba, of course, is included in that. And so in order to have a solution, we need to talk to these foreign trained doctors, which we have been. And I can tell you the Minister of Health has been working very hard to ensure that we have the human resources coming to Manitoba. We've invested $200 million on a human health resource action plan when it comes to healthcare professionals, because we need healthcare professionals in our province. So it's about communication, the professionals sharing that information with us, and to ensure that these regulatory bodies and us as government collaborate so that people are allowed to practice when they come here. And so they don't have to work at those survival jobs longer. It should be shorter so they can practice. And if they can practice, it benefits the province of Manitoba and our country of Canada.
Minister, let's talk about provincial immigration. You Multicultural proposed the provincial stream to the province, which would be focused on candidates with media and broadcast backgrounds. You Multicultural would be able to provide the training and offer employment to those candidates. However, would need the province to support these initiatives. We've never heard back from the province, and would the government support these initiatives? And if so, is there any specific path you Multicultural and similar organization must follow?
Yeah, well, there are many skills and trades that are actually on our emigratemanitoba.com website. So any initiatives that will benefit the province of Manitoba, I mean, as the minister, I'll always be open to. I think we need some good young talent, in this province. I applaud you for allowing me the opportunity to share this information with the ethno-cultural communities, because I think it's very important, because obviously immigration is a very important topic. So I would be open to that, and I would love to have those discussions with you. One thing I do want to give you, though, Zuher, is I want to give you a copy of the report of the Immigration Advisory Council. This is the Immigration Advisory Council report, which has 70 recommendations on how to improve the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program. Even though there's 70 recommendations here, I'm going to tell you here, my door is always open with regards to improving the program so that we can welcome more Manitobans to our province, because we want to make sure that not only do they come here, they work here, and they stay here. I call Manitoba the home of hope, and hopefully you've been having a great experience while you've been living here in Manitoba, and I want to thank you for coming here and allowing me to share this information. So here's a copy of the report.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Minister.
Yeah.
I wish you best of luck, and thank you. You put me in your busy schedule. I wish for your ministry all the success, and for our immigrants to feel more confident and settle here in Winnipeg and Manitoba as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I say in your language or in Arabic?
Yeah, for sure.
Shukran.
Afwan.
Shukran.
We reached the end of our episode. Thank you for watching. If you like this episode, please like, share, and subscribe, and wait for a new episode from Civic platform.